Space, the final frontier. Well, okay, not really. All right, take two. Here in the Mitten State, welcome to Code 47, bringing you all things Star Trek, spanning the quadrants, the best thing since the neutral zone.
Back again, episode 80 with camera and with Ritos teas all. I'm making the sign here. No, I'm glad to be back. We'll get a little bit more into my camera malfunction next time. My partner Todd did post our latest video, and my stock photo was, without exception, truly horrible. Anyway, I am Charlie Carden, Trek Lord of West Michigan, coming to you from this fun background. No, I'm coming to you from, we're on vacation. We're at my mother's and stepfather's house in Southern Maryland. I'm recording in her basement. I didn't really think the backdrop was very exciting, so I decided to employ the same background thingy that Peter uses. But at any rate, as usual, I'm getting off topic. I am here with my exceptional co-host. That would be Katie Quinn. Good afternoon.
Hello. I'm just here with my normal back. You can see my cat carrier.
I can see that. Yes, I was glad. I'm glad
also,
that
I do have my Adam Hughes Women of DC Power of DC.
Oh, there you go. You see, now we're moving in the right direction. I like it.
I'm getting closer instead of it just being a window with a bunch of busted blinds for my cats. I know.
Very
I have
nice.
a closet door, a fan, and a cat carrier.
Look at that. All things in evolution. And then, I'm considering, obviously back home I have my podcast backdrop, but I'm considering moving into my office at home and maybe doing this on a regular basis. I don't know. I haven't decided. But at any rate, we can talk aesthetics at another time. Also, please say hello to Mr. Peter Stein, who is smart enough to have an actual backdrop of the Cerritos Bridge. I'm very impressed.
Yep.
Look at that. He's the head Ritos. Head Ritos for the day. All right. Well, let's get right on into this deal. We have a news story. Star Trek Las Vegas happened a couple of weeks ago. And as it's a kind of a quasi-unofficial con, I mean, they have a ton of guests, a ton of content. As far as celebrities, they always have we have 125, Trek celebrities, including, Bill Johnson, who is Ensign number 3 and Star Trek TOS episode 12. And the guy's like 100 years old. Yay. But at any rate, they did have some notable regular, Star Trek actors and characters and personalities there. Denise Crosby was there. I've talked in the past about how I got to meet Denise Crosby back in 2016 when I was in the radio business. Got to interview her on the Eric Zane show here locally in Grand Rapids because Eric Zane is a buddy of mine. He pulled me in. I was a sales rep there, not on air. And she was super cool. I really liked working with her. But anyway, when she was in Vegas recently, she delivered an answer to a fan question, which was, will we be seeing Tasha Yar again during season 3 of Picard, which is obviously being billed as a send-off, a proper farewell to the TNG cast. Now, in a couple of weeks here, the three of us are going to, I want to say dissect, but I also kind of want to say destroy Star Trek Nemesis, which was the cinematic send-off to the TNG cast. But anyway, her answer was, I don't want to give away too much, but I'm going to tell you that you will see Tasha Yar, but I'm not going to tell you how. You've got to watch, as if people weren't going to watch. So what do you guys think this means?
Hologram.
Yeah, I'd like to think that it means something of value and that we actually will get some sort of closure or development of Tasha's character of any type besides just her being able to do a really good job flipping a guy over her shoulder repeatedly.
Such a good job.
Yeah. Because apparently that is the culmination and the pinnacle of Star Trek security in the TNG era.
You got to believe it. That's why you remember that absolutely dreadful. It was like the 4th or 5th episode where they're on that planet that's basically Africa and it's like stereotype city.
Yes,
and
that is actually the one I was thinking of, is because it's just her repeatedly flipping this dude over her shoulder over and over, and they're like, "She's such a good fighter." I'm like, he's literally just somersaulting over. I mean, I appreciate what they're trying to say, kind of besides the horrible racist undertones.
Oh my God, that whole episode! Oh,
it's a dumpster fire. It really is.
Yeah,
it is. I know that when we covered that episode with my previous co-host back when we were talking season 1 of TNG, we had a field day going through that deal. That one was that Code of Honor, Peter, was the name of that episode? And it was like episode like 3 or 4.
Something like that, yeah.
Super early in the series.
A lot of season 1 gets relegated to the I don't care shelf in my brain.
Yeah.
So
it's in the way back of the inventory.
Like I remember a lot about season 1, but it's like shoved far in the back, so I can't pull it out quickly.
You sit back there. So what do you think the chances are that we'll get like maybe her alternate reality Romulan daughter Sela back? I think that would be more.
I would like to see Sela back. I think that she's a character that was criminally underutilized towards the end of TNG, and to repeat myself, criminally not used in Nemesis.
And there's a whole. We'll get to that when we get to Nemesis, but they decided to replace a female Romulan with actress Dina Meyer, who I think is great. But
yeah, I mean the people they got were fine. It was just one of those you can. Like the rest of the normies might not know who she is, but you treat her like another Romulan, and the rest of us are like,
It'll end up being good stuff. So anyway, we're going to get Picard season 3 in February, which is actually the same time that we're getting the Mandalorian season 3. So that's going to be but it's also the time that April and I are going on the Star Trek cruise. So I don't know how that's really going to affect our schedule. So you guys might have to do that without me. Oh my God! I don't know if I can handle that. But we will.
Highway to the danger zone.
We will cross that bridge when we get to it. But anyway, speaking of crossing bridges, we are crossing back in to season 3 of Lower Decks. We got our first 2 episodes locked down. I watched them again this morning. So let's kick it off. Katie, give us the description of season 3, episode 1.
Yes, Mariner enlists her friends on a rogue mission to exonerate her mother as Captain Freeman faces a military tribunal for the destruction of Packlet Planet.
Woohoo! Oh my God. So I watched this one this morning, and I think I might have remarked to you guys yesterday. I think season 3 is in the lead for me of kicking off of being my favorite, because I was kind of willy-nilly on season 2. I love season 1. Season 1, rewatching it, I'm just more and more in love with it. But I'm digging on season 3. I feel like we're hitting some good notes here. You know, right from the start, we'd seen kind of some of we've seen kind of some of the good bits in the trailers, the teasers we've gotten, like the I don't know, you can't call it a vineyard where
I mean it is a vineyard. They're still growing grapes,
right?
But then they turn them into raisins.
What you
so great.
I was dying with all these little little girlies throwing themselves at Boimler, and he's like, no, so and so. I can't even remember all the lines, but I'm just
it was when it's like, could you take these varietals? They're so confusing. Could you take me back to the shed and explain that? And he's like, there's red and there's white. Come on, Bridget, get it together.
I can't believe Mariner didn't lean into him a little bit, like, dude, why don't I just give you 15 minutes? And
I think that was the funniest part, though, is that
it was
like
really
both
funny.
of them were just nonchalantly trying to keep up their conversation as these women are throwing themselves at Boimler, and it's Boimler.
I know.
So you're not expecting that, and that's what made it so hilarious.
Well, he's the only character so far that's had much of anything romantic in his sphere, and that was caused by that weird parasite, and him and Barbara, what's her butt? Oh, that was a fun episode. But this, oh my God, this episode was just absolutely packed with everything. First of all, I love kicking it off with the Federation News Service, and it looks like CNN, and there's the crawl underneath, and you're trying to keep up with.
There were some pretty funny things under there, like Admiral Jellicoe did something obnoxious. I don't remember what it was.
I didn't even get. But I love that. I love that baseball has made a comeback. They talked about the London Kings more than once. That was an early episode of DS9, because that was particularly in the first and second season. They focused on how obsessed Sisko was with baseball.
It comes back.
Yeah,
Taking Out to the Holosuite happened much later, after all.
Yeah, but talking about the London Kings and Buck Bokai, who was their big star, and it was in 2015. Oh, I think it was in 2015 that they said, "Oh, London Kings." That was Buck Bokai's first season or whatever. So I just thought that was fun. But this episode was great. The whole amusement park at Bozeman, Montana.
I love the whole Bozeman thing. I know it's like, it's just like fan service, but what would you do with that place? It's the location of first contact. You turn it into a shrine, more or less. And I mean,
and you think about the show,
and then they got James Cromwell to come back to do Cochrane, which was amazing.
I know. If you think about it, I mean, Lower Decks in general is kind of fan service the TV show, which is awesome.
Right. That's
because
supposed to be the point of it.
Right. There's subtle little pokes that if you enjoy it on levels like Peter and I do, that's awesome. But it's kind of funny because, Katie, you're kind of the other side of that coin. You love Star Trek, but you're not like woo about it like the two of us are. Like, well, I really got that. But you could take the things that are funny, and be enjoyed with them. And then Peter and I get to enjoy it on kind of a different, separate, but equal kind of level. I mean, it's just everything about this just totally hit for me.
They make it really accessible, even for those of us who aren't like in the weeds kind of Star Trek fans. Like, I always appreciate the fact that you could just throw it to Peter and be like, hey, what was that episode in, season 1 of TNG called? And I'm like, I could not tell you for the life of me. But,
why not?
I mean, I still got it enough to be like, oh, this is where first contact was. Cool, that's funny. Like, it's funny that they made this an amusement park because that's totally something we will do.
Right. And no, absolutely correct. And what was I going to say? I loved the Voyager-esque let's wrap it up in the last 3 minutes where the captain just walks in. And after they go through all this stuff that they're stealing the ship and they're going to run off. And then the weird, like, translucent creatures start, having an orgy on the whole of the ship. It's like, that's so very... But then at the end of it, the captain just walks through the door and she gives this great montage that you get Morgan Bateson, who is Kelsey Grammer's character returning. You get Tuvok. You get this, you get that, you get a Titan-class ship. Now, here's my question is, because, now I'm going to go into the weeds on this one, Riker, in the relaunch novel series that happens after Nemesis of Titan, where, obviously Riker and Troy are on the Titan, Tuvok is a regular character. Are they bringing that back into canon? So was that also that? But then again, Batesman. So Batesman and Tuvok. And I don't know. It's too into the weeds, but it was great to see Tuvok. So we've now got Paris, and we got a Paris through line, we've got a Tuvok through line, we know what Chakotay's doing after the series, we know what Janeway's doing after the series because of Prodigy. So the Voyager characters are making a comeback. I love it, and we know DS9 is going to be back because we got just fly around and look like you're fascinated.
Looking at the pylons, stare at the pylons. So this was great. I enjoyed this so immensely, and I'm all in. I just had a whole lot of fun.
With this episode, this was great. Other thoughts, other things that you loved?
I really liked how they aped Star Trek 3 with stealing the Cerritos.
Right.
That was really, really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Similar. The music cues were kind of similar, but also just like they actually had someone in the control room this time. Because in Star Trek 3, you're just seeing an empty room when it all happens.
Exactly.
And this time he's like, what are they doing? I don't know. Just let it go.
Yeah, in Star Trek 3, both guys were on a piss break, and then you saw the vacuum guy in the lounge as the Enterprise went to stop.
He notices.
Oh,
yeah, the vacuum guys notices, but the guys in the control room, who are supposed to make sure that nothing happens, are just like, we're having coffee now.
Oh my god! Oh man, Katie, what about you?
Well, and in that scene, I really appreciate the fact that they haven't had a chance to fix the Cerritos yet. Like, it still is completely stripped. I thought that was a really great where they're still keeping in canon with what's happening.
Right.
Continuity.
Yeah.
Right.
It's important.
I would have really appreciated a joke about, like, the justice system, because they're like, this huge thing and they've got this investigation. I would have loved it if, like, someone would have made a joke of like, yeah, of course, our justice system works. What do you think this is, 2022 or something like that? I was waiting for that dig.
Oh,
but
man,
it didn't come, but I still appreciated, how they had this whole huge like montage of like all of this stuff happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of they didn't use those words exactly, but they did do that dig at the end where it's like, Captain, I thought it was going to be much longer. What are you talking about? This is a Federation.
Right, exactly.
I believed in the system, and the system totally worked. And my favorite adapted quote, which I've dubbed this episode, Earth is whack.
Yes.
Why do we even have this bridge? No one drives anymore.
Yeah, right.
It's whack.
It's whack. Oh, my gosh. All right, well, moving right along. Katie, episode 2 is... Oh, no, Peter, episode 2 is you.
Haha. The least dangerous game. On a tropical planet Paradise, Mariner questions Commander Ransom on how he structures his away team. Boimler makes a bold career decision. Also, other shenanigans ensue.
Oh my God.
So many other shenanigans.
The other shenanigans are more what I'm interested in this episode.
Oh my God. This was just so great. First of all, I love seeing more of Ransom because he's kind of special to me because, I met Jerry O'Connell on stage at Mission Chicago. I got my picture in Trek Core with him. I have that great Tom Paris plate. So I love his character, and it's hilarious. You actually found out that, through the course of this episode, they've got to go and fix this planetary elevator thing, which they stole from an episode of Voyager. That was that episode. What was it? Rise with Tuvok and Neelix.
Yeah. It also looked strangely like the one from Star Trek 09, the mining thing. They stole some stuff from there.
Well, they did, and they did it with the orbital dive and the suits and everything, because that was also very similar. But yeah, it was kind of funny. It had this was a very kind of sitcom-y layered plot. Like you had an A plot and a B plot where you're right, it was shenanigans. It was like Mariner was like, I'm trying to follow the rules and stick with Ransom and do what he says, but he's a dum-dum, and I know that I've got to get down to the planet to save, because they pulled a flipperoo. They sent the engineers to do diplomatic work while the command level officers stayed and tried to fix things, and both of them failed spectacularly. In the end, they had to, she was like, I got to get down there and rescue him, because my God, the planet with the living volcano plus the computer,
the psychic baby, or the computer.
Psychic baby.
It's like it could be this, or this. It could be the psychic baby. It could be a living volcano, or it could be a sentient computer. I don't know. Ends up being all
like you're narrowing it down. It'll be fine.
Oh my God! Yeah, have you guys ever heard of Overkill? Oh,
yeah, it was really fun. And then it's like, you all like fitness, yes? Shunk.
Yeah, he's all his perfectly shiny, chiseled everything. Oh my God! I loved it. And then Boimler's story where he's like, I'm just start saying yes to everything. So he ends up saying yes to a hunt where he's hunted by basically it's the Predator crossed with what looked like some kind of anime character, who in the end it ends up stabbing him basically in the heart, but he doesn't, just so he can take a trophy
stabs him
picture.
In the shoulder. Yeah,
but it was really close. Like, shouldn't he be dead now? But
and then he takes a selfie.
Yeah, even the captain was like, "Oh, what was the creature's name?"
I don't remember.
It's like Crunch or something.
Oh, I had brunch with Crunch this morning, and he's great. If you're doing a hunt with him, you just got to see. He's a good guy. It's going to be fine. It's going to be all right.
It was just great how he was freaking out, and then it's like the captain's like, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
And then it finally ends. It's like, you were very good prey. I have notes.
Just in case you ever do this again, FYI.
If you're going to turn from hunted to hunter, do not announce yourself.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And yet, even his bed. And let's not forget, and again, we got footage of this back at Mission Chicago, which I watched during their panel presentation, but kicking it off with the Dungeons and Dragons Klingon
Batlets and Barnocks. Yes. That made my day.
This is Ferengi deepfakes, essentially.
Oh,
yep.
My God.
And then how it ends. If you want to continue this adventure with dinner with Lady Cirilla, please go buy the expansion.
Which was Lady Cirilla is, of course, Martok's real wife in TNG. So that was. I mean, like I said, look at a merchandising opportunity coming to start. These Star Trek. Very quickly.
I'm on the official Star Trek Adventures Discord, and someone was like, "Oh, why don't they have lower decks?" And it's like, maybe because they were waiting for this to come out first.
I know, I'm telling you. Yes, and all the, and that's one that I'm sure we're going to see at cons very soon. People with wearing just the shoulder pads or the really crappy,
or the fake rubber heads
head with the stringy wigs. That was absolutely terrific. It's just
that was so funny.
Everything is just so fun.
As a D&D player, it just made my day. That was super fun. It was so silly. And again, they brought back J.G. Hertzler to do Martok, and it was fantastic.
And also, let's look at the character development that happened within all of these random antics. You had Ransom admitting that he was wrong and that he had just done what he had done to get underneath Mariner's skin. And you had Mariner having to acknowledge, I might not always know what's right, and I do need to trust in my command, because he did acknowledge, to the skin of, I guess.
Yeah, eventually he got there, but he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That the engineer crew was going to die. But then also Boimler, despite getting hunted, acknowledging that one day of him taking risks was actually much more productive than all of the times he is carefully prepared. And, you know, even,
Yep.
Oh gosh.
With the red shirts.
Yeah.
the
red shirts.
Yeah, the ensign gang.
Yes.
The gang of obnoxious ensigns. Yeah.
Yeah, it just was really nice to see the consistency of them having fun antics and still building some heart into it, which, you know, as we have said, it's, you know, it's just stupid heart is what this is. So.
Yep. Lower Decks is really good at that.
Yeah,
stupid.
It really is.
Stupid Heart might be a better name for this episode. You guys might
I don't know. Earth is Whack is real good.
Okay, I agree.
Earth is whack.
Earth is so whack. Oh my god. Any final thoughts before we wrap up and move on and bid Katie?
I am excited to see what they do next. And based on the last 2 episodes, what other cameo are we going to have?
Oh my god! Well, they can't
we seem to get one per episode so far.
They can't be flying around the pylons of DS9 without giving us somebody from DS9. That would be whack. I'll go on.
We're probably going to see Quark at some point. Maybe we'll see a continuation of the Batless and Barnox, and they have to buy it from Quark. Who knows?
Oh, you're right. Ongoing. Katie, any final thoughts about these episodes?
I mean, I kind of just gave my final thoughts about like how they've been able to really mishmash that, you know, characters with the antics. But I mean, as solid as this episode was, I'm just really excited to see where they're going, because if they can keep up this level, like you were saying, season 3 is going to be even better than the first 2 seasons. And that's really exciting.
They're totally crushing it. I love it. Well, cool. All right. Well, that wraps up segment 1. Katie, where can people find you out there on the webs of Inter?
You can find me on Twitter at QTGeek. That is Q_T Geek. And then you can also find me at Instagram on Quintessential Geek.
I love it. All right. Brief pause for station identification, and we will be back. Katie, thank you as always. Much obliged. All right. We'll be back.
Bye, all.
And we're back from our non-existent break. It's just Peter and myself. Peter, I have to admit, I'm looking forward to finishing this, not just because I'm not super fond of TOS Season 3, but in a couple of episodes, you, Katie, and I get to finish an entire episode together where we get to do a teardown of Star Trek Nemesis, which we've already been teasing up.
Oh, yeah. Nemesis.
That's going to be a good time. But at any rate, we're on to segment 3, part 3 of 4, breaking down the final season of the original series.
We're getting there, folks. You'll get Turnabout Intruder eventually.
You'll get it. Yes, the non-event of a series finale. The cancellation they quote unquote didn't know was coming. But yeah, we got a crop of another 6 episodes, and I was not displeased. I'll go first. Episode 13 of the season is Elan of Troyes. You see, you got the same dude, directed by and written by. See, I got myself out of knowing which was which. John Meredith Lucas. This is from December of 1968. So this was a Christmas episode. Oh, how Christmassy! But regardless, while transporting an arrogant, demanding, spoiled princess, that's a lot of adjectives. So a lot of descriptive language there. For a political marriage, Captain Kirk must cope with both her biochemical ability to force him to love her and sabotage on the ship. I love this episode because, to me, it ties backwards to an episode of TNG, the Perfect Mate, with which was Patrick Stewart working with. Going to draw a blank on her name, Famke Johnson. Who?
Yep, I was about to say. Phoenix from X-Men, but that's
exactly. Later, they were in the X-Men together. She was Jean Grey. He's obviously Professor X. I love this because she is, to a 1960s level of obnoxious, over the top. She is what Kirk is to all other types of acting and emoting, to being an obnoxious woman. She's the female Kirk, but she takes it kind of to a level beyond. She's super annoying, but she's also, dangerous. She's her. I think the associate, the ambassador. He's not an Andorian, but he's blue skinned. I don't know what race he is.
They're from the 2 different planets,
right?
So she's going to his planet.
Yeah, he's a weird little toady guy. She is, I think her name was Frances Nyan was the actress's name, and I believe she was actually Vietnamese, and just a very exotic looking, even before they put the makeup on it. One of the things I thought was the most noteworthy is that she has three bodyguards or associates. They're wearing these outfits that are orange, but they're composed of these huge plastic like almost flower petals that like the chest piece the guy has is it, and you can tell it's made out of resin or plastic or something even cheaper. And I'm like, that actually is pretty damn innovative for the shoestring budget, final season of this show. I was impressed by that. I thought this was a cool episode. I think it also benefited from the 2006 40th anniversary, recompositing of all the CGI effects.
Yep.
So you're getting some Klingon vessels. You're getting better shots of the Enterprise kind of doing its thing. I liked this episode. It's dumb, but I liked it.
Yeah, it is dumb, but it is enjoyable. It's well acted. It's got. I mean, the spoiled leader figuring out that other people need to be treated like sentient beings is like it's a decent story. So.
Why can't I get people to like me? And it's her tears that are the pheromone.
Because you're such a pain in the ass. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's peed to the extreme. And what I really do love in the end is that McCoy's like, well, there's no cure for the tears of the dolmen. So he's never, even though she's gone, he's never going to get over it. And Spock's like, no, he found a cure. And McCoy's like, well, what's the cure? He says, there is no more powerful effect in Kirk's life for the love of anything but the love of the Enterprise. And he's cured because he loves being the captain of the Enterprise, which is kind of a glib answer. But you know what? Think about what a painful moment it is in Star Trek 3 when Kirk.
It's a very fitting line for what we know about James Kirk, especially later.
Yeah, exactly. For when he does actually have to sacrifice the Enterprise in Star Trek 3, and my God, Bones, what have I done? Oh, it was just
it's a great scene in that movie. So
yeah, without a doubt. Like I said, and I've gone on record as saying many, many times that Star Trek 3 is my favorite Star Trek film because of moments like that.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
it's a really good one.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't deserve the crap it gets. Like everyone says, the odd ones are bad. It's like no, Star Trek 3 is good. Star Trek 3 is good.
I mean, on a complete sidebar, Star Trek the Motion Picture, Star Trek 1 was different in its own way. It was innovative in its own way.
Star Trek
3 is fantastic. It's when we get to Star Trek.
It's mostly 5. That's a problem.
And then leapfrogging into 7, which would be Generations.
Generations has the issue of a complete sidebar, but Generations has the issue of it's very clearly a TNG 2-parter.
Yeah.
That got dragged into a full-length movie.
Right.
But the end of the first episode of the 2-parter is like 75% of the way through the film because you know exactly where that cut is. It's when the Nexus shows up. Like there's a blackout. It's like, oh, look, to be continued. And then they keep
exactly.
going.
And of course, this was still a logical. We were still talking about Kirk, but let's move on. Take on the next episode, please.
All right. Episode 14, Whom Gods Destroy. Directed by Herb Wallerstein. Story by Lee Irwin and Jerry Soule. Teleplay by Lee Irwin. Aired January 3rd, 1969. Captain Kirk visits a mental health facility and confronts an insane starship captain who believes he is destined to control the universe.
Oh my goodness!
Earth of Izar.
This one is great because you have characters who are nuts. Including Yvonne Craig as and I'm drawing a blank as the Orion's. I don't want to say
the Orion lady.
Yeah, I hate.
She's not really a slave girl at that point. She's just a inmate.
But, Yvonne Craig is of course Batgirl from Batman '66. Wonderful, beautiful actress. And then you have Garth of Izar is a character that has lived on in Alec Peters.
Prelude to Axanar.
Prelude to Axanar being such a key character. I love this episode, but again, it's over emoting 101. But they're supposed to be crazy. What it's all about. So. They're supposed to be crazy. So this one really fits the bill. I really like it. Garth is he's driven mad. The whole purpose of them beaming down is they have the magic antidote that cures the malady of every person there, which is kind of an oversimplification, but still, things go wrong. And at the end of it, sorry for a spoiler alert for something for over 50 years ago, they get more of the antidote, they cure them all. But Garth of Izar, that's a character I would be very interested to see.
That's part of what I was excited when I originally heard about the fan film Prelude to Axanar, because I was like, oh, look, we finally get to see someone's take on what Garth of Izar did.
Right, exactly.
So
right, totally.
Be that as it may.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also like the Kirk Spock dynamics here, where you have you get to see a little bit more of how like Kirk and Spock really know each other, because Garth tries to pretend to be Kirk and it just doesn't work. And he also does it to Scotty too. He's like, "Oh well, just remind me what the command codes are." It's like, dude.
And he was a little better when he was faking it as Spock, because he didn't have like he just frowned a lot more, like.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like, yeah, but it was pretty good with how that character dynamic worked. And,
right, exactly.
You know, the first reveal was also really good. It's like, here comes the administrator. Oh, let me show you this, and this, and then like, wait, the administrator's in the cell. Oh no, it's Garth.
Meow, meow. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
that was pretty well done.
I really love this. All right. Well, moving on to the next episode. I know you and I had an off-book conversation that you were like, unpopular opinion, wasn't crazy about it. But this is one of those episodes that it's very significant. A lot of people talk about it, and it does have a very direct message. Episode 15 of the season is Let That Be Your Last Battlefield, directed by Judd Taylor, whose name we've seen in other places throughout the season. Story by Gene L. Kuhn, the producer, and teleplay by Oliver Crawford from January of 1969. Episode 70. So we're down to the last 9 episodes. So crazy. The Enterprise picks up the last 2 survivors of a war-torn planet who are still committed to destroying each other aboard the ship. And of course, what is the MacGuffin here? They are in trousseau with their clothing, because again, they're from an alien race that only has one set of clothes.
Evidently,
one of them is completely black on the left side, like black, not like a skin tone color of black,
like shoe leather black.
Like printer ink black, and the other one is liquid paper white on the other side, and they're reversed. So it's Commander Beale and it's Beale and Loki, I believe the character's name.
I think that's
and then Loki, or Beale, sorry if I mix up, is played by Frank Gorshin. So we have 2 episodes in a row. We've got great actors from Batman 66, another one of my favorite shows. And this is Peter, I know that what you didn't love about it is that it's a little too on the nose, cut through about racial discrimination in the world.
I call it a 2x4. It's not that it's just too on the nose, because other episodes and other things are a little on the nose of what, like, it's clear what they're talking about. It. This is just like, did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it?
Like the episode back in season 2 they gave us the Mugato. It was the private little war with the allegory to the Vietnam War, and giving weapons to the
that one side. I think was just a little bit better in how it handled it.
A little bit better, yeah, exactly. So I like it for all the classic reasons. I love it for Frank Gorshin's portrayal of his character. This also gave us the self-destruct sequence, which was aborted,
reused,
but then executed
word for word.
We're going right back to Star Trek 3, because that was how the Enterprise met its Waterloo, was through this destruct sequence. So I liked it, and again, like you said, there's no doubt that it's too on the nose, but for the time that it came out in 1969, obviously the civil rights crisis, the big blowout in civil rights had happened in the mid 1960s. This was the late 1960s, but it's not like, things were all incredibly better throughout the.
Oh no, things didn't get immediately better. No,
I mean things, and certainly things aren't great now. We still struggle with that absolutely every day. So this is kind of a timeless portrayal of that. It's instead of being on the nose, you're right. It's a 2x4 across the back of your head.
Yeah, but it's one of the things where it's like the idea of it and the heart's there, but I think that a lot of people, again, this is my opinion, take this episode and take it as the blueprint for how Star Trek is supposed to be. And that's part of why they take that, and then they take like a couple episodes in TNG season 1 because, Roddenberry's fingers are all over it. And then you get stuff like a lot of the reasons why some of us are not the biggest fans of Discovery with how they tell the story, not necessarily the story, but how they tell the story.
I can't necessarily, and again, without Katie on the show, because she's a bigger Discovery fan than I am. Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. And with Discovery, we've had in the new era, I think we've had shows that are better than Discovery, but I'm always hopeful that Discovery is going to come back and oh my God, season 5 is going to blow me away.
They may do it. They may come better. All I'm saying is it seems like this is one of the touchstones that they're using. Like everyone keeps pointing back of Star Trek being social commentary, and they keep going back to this one. That's this is a good one, but it doesn't land it terribly well.
Right. I hear you. All right, let's move on. Next episode is yours.
All right. Episode 16, The Mark of Gideon. Directed by Judd Taylor, once again. Written by George F. Slavin and Stanley Adams. Aired January 17th, 1969. An overpopulated race of aliens abduct Kirk to solve their problem.
They're so overpopulated that the men stop growing hair.
They're so overpopulated that they haven't figured out space travel.
Oh yeah, exactly. We had a crossover actor in this in an episode of season 1. We're going back to talk about season 1 of TNG. It was Commander Kinderos in the episode with the Binars. It was in this episode. He was the other bald guy. Yep, same.
Well, yeah.
It was funny. I was watching this episode, and April walks through the room and says, "That woman has a huge forehead." That was her entire commentary on the episode. So yeah, it was Kirk has to beam down because they need some rare whatever disease he has because they want to introduce a fatal disease to start killing people off. It's pretty grim. You know what I mean?
It's a commentary on population control and that sort of stuff. But it was one of those I get where you're going.
Right.
But this is the future and we have spaceships. This really shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, let's get a bunch of colony ships here and start shipping you guys off to the other 8 billion worlds,
there's gotta be
even within the Federation footprint.
There's got to be at least one other terrestrial planet in your solar system. At least go there. Terraforming's a thing.
It was pretty dull. Yeah, and again, the Federation, even though not quite as advanced as it is, obviously in the time of TNG 100 years later, there are, hundreds of thousands of planets out there. They could be we're going to split up your population into 5 groups and go to 5 planets, and we'll settle you there. Now you guys have your own little micro whatever. It's just, it was kind of dumb. But yeah.
We did get some interesting stuff of, Kirk wandering around the Enterprise and being... it wasn't really the Enterprise, but wandering around going, where is everybody? And actually where we got the still shot that they used for relics to put Scotty back in the bridge because it was completely empty. I think it's actually where this shot behind me comes from.
Oh, so. I think you're absolutely correct. Yeah. So it was, it was just... Again, you're right. It was kind of could there be a simpler solution? Absolutely. But, having Kirk and gang along is what helps these guys understand that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. As I said, it makes sense what they're trying to do. And commentary on you need to, you can't just kill people because you have a problem.
You can't? Are you serious? Oh, man.
Oh, darn. That takes so many things off of my... to-do list.
It takes it right off the table. So, all right. Well, moving on. Episode 17 of the season is That Which Survives. This was directed by Harb Wallerstein. Story by DC Fontana, one of the greats. Teleplay by John Meredith Lucas. From January 24 of 1969, the crew of the Enterprise visits an abandoned outpost guarded by a mysterious computer. Super forgettable episode for me. I'm okay, there's a woman, and one by one she
tries to kill the away team.
She tries to kill them, but she can't kill Kirk because she can only kill Sulu, and then she's got to come back. I didn't get it.
Yeah, it was an interesting concept. I think the concept is better developed with the Iconians in Next Generation, with the idea of a dead civilization that has left things behind. Right. The probe idea of it's a defense mechanism, but it's only stated to kill one thing at a time so that it hopefully scares you away instead of just mass murdering everyone. Okay, fine. Oh, yeah. But it did just make it a little weird where it's I am for Sulu. Kirk stands in the way. I am for Sulu.
Well, you can't have him. Yeah.
And then it's like another one comes back. I'm for Kirk. And they just keep on bouncing. And then I think at one point there's like one for each of them. And they just kind of like do this merry-go-round. It's like, okay. Like it worked. It's not an amazing episode, but it does have some interesting stuff. And
sure.
And you can have a good chuckle about the whole like dancing around to not get touched.
Oh my gosh. Plenty of but it's certainly a whole lot better than the Plato stepchildren and the horse.
Oh yeah. As significant as Plato's stepchildren is, this is more watchable.
Oh my God, infinitely. God, I think you could put all 6 of these episodes together and they're more watchable than Plato's stepchildren. So sorry. I know it's a brave take because it was, a groundbreaking episode, but
it's a groundbreaking shot. The rest of the episode is bad.
It was a groundbreaking shot. That's what we should have called the episode. The groundbreaking shot heard around the world, the episode that was otherwise a crap fest. Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, wrapping it up for this segment, episode 18 of the season is The Lights of Zetar, whatever. Herb Kernwith is the director, Jeremy Tarcher and Sherry. Now, don't tell me this is the same Sherry Lewis. Hold on. Let me click on this
find
link.
out.
Because if this is oh my God, it's Sherry Lewis who's of Sherry and the Lamb.
Oh my gosh, Lamb Chop. Oh no.
Oh my God. Record needle scratch in the episode. What the hell? Sherry Lewis of Sherry and Lamb Chop was the co-writer of an episode of the original Star Trek. Somebody sound an alarm. What the hell is going? Now I might have to change the name of the episode. Katie is going to be furious, but Star Trek and Sherry and Lamb Chop.
Holy cow!
What the hell? Oh my gosh! I have no idea. No clue. So obviously before this completely changed the focus of this conversation. But yeah, oh my goodness. Yes. Sherry Lewis of Sherry and Lamb Chop fame wrote what I consider to be kind of a weird episode of the original series. Now again, okay, so strange energy-based alien life forms threaten Memory Alpha, which is, I love Memory Alpha. That's the name of kind of the number one reference site. It's a wiki site for Star Trek. That is the basis of just about all of our news sources. Basically, all of our reference sources here come from Memory Alpha.
It's came out of the old encyclopedia that's over on my shelf.
And I've got that one too. And anyway, threaten the station and threaten the Enterprise crew. I'm totally thrown. This is January 31. This came out. I'm totally thrown by the Sherry and Lamb Chop thing. I don't even know what to think about this episode anymore. Besides the fact that I don't know what it is about being a chief engineer in Starfleet, but basically
your love life sucks.
You're a punching bag. Look at O'Brien, tortured.
O'Brien, Geordi,
and
B'Elanna gets captured and tortured a bunch too. Exactly. Hers ends a little bit better.
Right.
But
Trip
Tucker gets
dies.
blown up.
Things aren't great for Paul. Jet Reno is the chief engineer of Discovery.
Hammer has things happen to him. Yeah.
Right. And you've got, I'm drawing a blank on the guy on Lower Decks.
So far, Billups is fine in Lower Decks. The only thing he's had is his mom tried to get him to become king.
I know. Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Although he did just get, they just about threw him in a volcano this last episode.
Okay, there you go. So that's pretty much a clean sweep for engineers in Starfleet on these shows.
So I guess we have to look at the writers of Star Trek and be like, which engineer hurt you?
Yeah, I was going to say, why do you hate engineering so much? What did engineering do to you? But yeah, this was anyway. We started this ramble by it was the same thing. Scotty, he's in love with the girl, and she gets taken over by this energy. She starts talking. She's new to Starfleet, so she's kind of apprehensive. They don't really explain if she's new to Starfleet
or just new to the ship or something.
Yeah. Well, they make it sound like she was a civvy who joined Starfleet and just like, I just took my space tests and whatever and this and that. Because Scotty's, when she's in sickbay, she's like, oh, you're just getting your space legs. How do they even meet and fall in love and whatever? Because we had Scotty, Wolf in the Fold. He ends up murdering a dancer. The Adonis episode with Carol Palamas. He lost her to friggin' Apollo. And then it's just like, good God. And in the end of it, he ends up with nobody. There's that weird flirtation in Star Trek V with him and Uhura that doesn't really.
Yeah, that was weird.
because it was. I mean, a lot of things about that film that were just weird, but yeah, it's just.
Don't get me wrong, I love Scotty.
Yeah, who can't love Scotty? But yeah, it's just getting his ass kicked around. Like you said, same thing with every other chief engineer in.
Yeah,
Starfleet.
I mean the joke about like Deep Space Nine has like a subtitle that everyone talks about. O'Brien must suffer.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah, so it's the same thing with Scott. Well, and then there was the episode Scotty died in this episode, or in
the Changeling, and then he died in another one.
He died in it was the Who Mourns for Adonis episode.
Yeah, he gets killed again.
You know, so I just oh my god. So
and he didn't die in the oh crap, the Tombstone episode.
Yeah, that was Chekhov. And Chekhov
Spectre of the Gun. Yeah, he didn't die in that one.
So this is just more Scotty getting beaten up. And at the end of it, he loses the girl because she stays at Memory Alpha to be the functionary to communicate with these aliens and stuff. So poor Scotty. It's just not fair.
Yep. Scotty just doesn't have anything great happen to him.
He just doesn't have anything going for him. All right, well, wrapping up, looking over the 6 episodes, let's have a favorite and a least favorite. You go first.
I'm going to have to say Whom Gods Destroy.
Okay.
I really liked all of that interaction and the weirdness that was Garth.
Right.
Yeah. And like you have a little bit more context of like, oh, he's was he a Commodore or fleet captain? I think
he was a fleet captain. I think
he was a fleet captain. Yeah.
Yeah. He and like myself in SFI, he and then Captain Pike from his, beep beep chair were the fleet captain.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like we get to see a few new ranks. We get to hear about some history.
Right.
But then also you get to see just the shenanigans that ensue and a lot of, Scotty sitting on the bridge going, what the heck is going on down there?
Exactly.
Which happens a lot in TOS.
Yeah, he gets a lot of, I'm in charge, but I can't do much about it. So, all right. And how about a dud? Which one was the icky thump for you in this episode?
The one that I probably least enjoyed was Let That Be Your Last Battlefield. But in terms of just like, Mark of Gideon.
Yeah, I gotcha. I mean, for me, I'll go in reverse. I'll go, I'm going to say it's probably a tie between Mark of Gideon or That Which Survives. Because you asked me, I couldn't even tell you how the episode ended because they were so to me.
I mean, I remember how That Which Survives ended. Mark of Gideon is mostly
well, we did the thing or whatever it is. I'm kind of stuck in between loving... I really like all 3 of the first episodes in this segment. But I also... Really, I like Ilana Troyes the best because it's outrageous, and in the end of it, Kirk, horn dog of the galaxy, manages to shake off the unshake-offable love curse because of how much he loves the Enterprise. You know what?
Which I think again points to the fact that Kirk is not quite as horny as everyone thinks he is.
I know he is he's kind of a. I'm drawing a blank. He's kind of very he's very pansexual. His love for the Enterprise, an inanimate object, kind of trumps his love for anything else in his life. I don't know. Maybe that's a crazy statement. Please don't at me on Twitter if I got it wrong. I don't know that you can't love a starship more than you can love a man or a woman or another.
I mean, you can't love the Enterprise sexually, but you can love the Enterprise.
Well, that's just because we don't have holodecks yet. You could. Oh, we're not even going to go there. Oh, my God.
Let's not pull a Lando.
We're not going to pull. Yeah, this is not an L3.
We're not doing a Disney version Lando.
We're not doing it. Yeah, exactly. We're not doing an L3 scenario. All right. Well, Peter, that is the end of the program. Go ahead and take us up on out of here.
All right. For more information about Starfleet International, please visit Grant Petoskey on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Oh, yeah. And Peter, where do people find you out there on the website?
You can find me floating around on the interwebs at Patrus Aquinas. If you go on Twitter, you'll see my most recent attempt at animation for a Star Trek fan series.
Ooh, nice.
So
I like it. Good stuff. And of course, you can find me over on Twitter at the C3. So I actually changed that recently, so you can find me obviously on Instagram. And I'm dabbling with TikTok a little bit. kind of sort of trying. My wife April and I, of course, do run the USS Grand Petoskey, one of the biggest chapters of the Starfleet International Fan Club in the world. You can find us at a website of that name. Peter is our chief engineer. A website of that name, and then across all social media channels too. I also try to fill up our Secret Friends Unite Facebook page with content. So that's usually me. But yeah, come find us over there. And then, of course, at our great website. Please subscribe not only to our YouTube channel, but also to our network podcast feed at a podcast service of your choosing. You get all 4 of our great shows. This program, which comes out bi-weekly. You get Holocron Chronicles, which is our Star Wars show, myself and Mark Carabin. Also bi-weekly. Secret Friends Unite Prime comes out every Friday. That's Todd Oxtra and myself. Since 2014, we're about to hit our 400th episode, which we're very excited about. Woohoo! And then, of course, the Co-op Mode, our video game show. That's Todd and Mark Carabin, also bi-weekly, talking about video games. Plug. Everything is in the show notes. Find us there. But as always, friends, thank you for joining us. I'm going to tell you that sharing is caring, and to keep on trekking.
Peace and long life.
This podcast is part of the Secret Friends Unite podcasting network. Visit secretfriendsunite.com for more great shows, articles, news, reviews, and more. Secret Friends Unite podcasts are available on Apple, Google, Spotify, and other podcast services around the world. If you'd like to be part of the conversation, you can join us on Facebook or our new Discord server, or follow @SecretFriendsU on Twitter. Please subscribe to Secret Friends Unite on YouTube and visit our merch store at tpublic.com. Just search Secret Friends Unite. Thanks for listening.